Hey, it's Tim here, coach of Men Who Want More. Thanks for joining me on this live stream, or if you're watching the replay, I deeply appreciate it. And today it's a Q&A. I had a question come from one of my best mates, Mike. Shout out to you, mate. And he asked me, do I have a morning routine? And I was sitting there chatting with him and he asked me this question. It sort of hit me, and because to me it's so obvious. And I said, fuck yeah, I have a morning routine. If you want higher levels of success in your life, if you want more motivation to be able to handle stress better, overwhelm better, understand who you are better, if you want to walk through this world as a strong, courageous man, then you need fucking rituals. You need a morning routine that allows you to operate at your best. You just have to look back through, the giants of this self-development industry. It doesn't matter if it's a Tony Robbins, if it's a Dr. John Demartini, Oprah Winfrey, in the sporting realm, your LeBron Jameses, your Tiger Woodses, your Roger Federers, they all have morning success rituals. So why are we any different? If they're just people just like us, just like you watching, just like me, and they've discovered a hack or a model of success, why wouldn't we implement this into our lives? So no matter where you're at with your morning success rituals, maybe you've had them in the past, and you're a bit slack and you're not doing them so much now. Maybe you're crushing it, you have them, you're great, and you're moving through your day wonderfully well. Maybe you've never really got into it, you've never really bought into the idea, or you haven't even heard about it. But we are what we do, so excellence is a habit. And what I'd encourage you to think about here is, A, do you have morning rituals, what I call personal power rituals in the morning, first thing? Because that's when you can really own your day. Because isn't it true that your day gets moving and then you start to be at the whim of other people, whether it's via email, via social media, via in person. You've got meetings popping up. You've got life. You've got kids on this hand. You've got your spouse on the other hand. You've got a mate over here. You've got your life. And Jim Rohn says, you either run the day or the day runs you. And a morning ritual is a must if you want to run your day. Because you can choose when you get up, and you can choose what those first few minutes or even hours of your day looks like. Make no mistake, that's a choice. So if your house is, a rampage in the morning, you may need to get up half an hour early. I'm going to take you through my personal success rituals, or what I call my personal power time. And this has evolved over the years. It didn't start here. It's definitely got some mainstays. And this has evolved, A, through my experience, and B, through modeling. Modeling those who I respect, admire, and are inspired by, what do they do? And then I put my take on it. So my hope for this, if you're watching, is not to do exactly what Tim Neal does, but to take some of it and say, okay, I haven't done that, or I used to do that, but I don't anymore. And I'm going to put this into my life. Because if you want better results in your life, if you want to find high levels of clarity, if you want to feel a sense of courage, confidence, and to progress through your life, whether it's within your health and your fitness and your body and how you feel about yourself, whether it's within your own emotional, states and dealing with the stresses of life, whether it's in your marriage or your relationships or in your business or your career or your job, then a morning ritual, having some personal power time for you as a man, is going to help you massively. So let me run through exactly what I do. I get up anywhere it changes. I'm not one of those guys anymore because, I'm very grateful that I have a bit of time freedom. But to get up at this time, 7 a.m. every morning, it's not how I work now. But anywhere from 5 a.m. till about 8 a.m. I'm up, depending on my day, depending on my night before. Now, once I get up, this is where the rubber hits the road. And how I feel will be dictated over the course of this ritual, how my day moves forward. So I start water, straight up. You've been sleeping for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. You're dehydrated. Dehydration, lower energy. Straight away, 500 ml or half a litre of water. And I just drink that straight away to start hydrating my system. Then what I do is I go and have a shower, but I have a cold shower. Got this off Mark Devine, ex-Navy SEAL, founder of SEALFIT, because this works on 2 levels. This works, one, on a physical level, so it helps your lymphatic system, helps your immune system, and secondly, it puts you in a little bit of uncomfort right off the bat, right when you're first up. So that triggers your mind to say, you can deal with the uncomfortable, because isn't life uncomfortable at times? And the more we can condition ourselves to just deal with that, deal with the challenge, deal with the uncomfortableness, then we're going to be able to break through more and more. So this is just a great metaphor that I've found. I've been doing this for quite a while now. Cold shower. Is it pleasant? No. Do I want to do it? Fuck no. Most mornings I'm like, holy shit, this is freezing. But just for 30 seconds or so, under the cold water, it refreshes you, helps your heart start oxygenating your body even better. So water, followed by a cold shower. And then I put the kettle on. I have a lemon water. This helps alkalize your body, starts the digestive process, helps detoxing your body from the toxicity of the last day of sleeping, all those things. And lemon water, what I've found, is a great way to start my day ahead of coffee. I do drink coffee, and I'll get to that, but lemon water is great alkalizing your body. And if you want to know more about alkalizing acidity, just jump on Google and there's loads of stuff there. Won't go into a deep health dive now. Then I stretch. Stretching's a must for me. 5 minutes. I don't overdo it. I just do a few stretches that work for me in and around my lower back and my hips to get my body moving a little bit. After my stretch, I do what I call priming, or what Tony Robbins, a great mentor of mine, calls priming. I got this off him, and I do my version of this. Priming your emotions, because how well your day goes will be dictated on one thing, and that's your emotional states. It won't be dictated on circumstances, events, or people even though we may think it is. It's dictated on how well you're handling those things, and that's dictated by how well you're showing up. Who are you being, and the emotional state that you're in. Now, the great news is the bad news is most of us don't understand that we're in control of that. The great news is once you know how to control your emotional state, it gets easier and easier. And priming is a great way to do that. And what that is just some deep breaths in and out of your nose with a rapid arm movement, some rapid breathing, and then hand on heart and thinking and integrating gratitude. So I think about gratitude, what I'm grateful for, all the big things and little things in my life right now. And also I think about my visions, my goals, and what the day ahead lies. Those two things, gratitude and visions and goals combined. That's as simple as the priming is. And I do some breathing with it and some movement with it, and I'm primed. And after that, I feel amazing. I feel ready to go. Even if the cold shower, the lemon water, the stretching hasn't got me buzzing in a way, priming does. So I've integrated that based on Tony's work, and it's worked amazingly well. The sixth thing is I read every morning. It might only be a page, usually for about 10 or so minutes. So I'm not a huge reader. I absolutely find value in books, but I'm not a huge reader where I'm going to be reading for hours and hours and hours. If you're like me, you got a lot you want to be doing in the world. You're busy, hopefully inspired busy, and 10 minutes of reading. And it may just, if I'm really time pressed, it may just be a page, like I said, because I firmly believe you need to feed your mind every single day. If you want to live a better life, if you want to progress, if you want to grow, if you want to evolve, if you want to become a better man, then you need to feed your mind. And a great way to do that is books. Wasn't a big reader as a kid, but I do read every single day. At the moment, I think I've mentioned on a couple of live streams, I'm reading Richard Branson's Like a Virgin. I've got some other stuff that I read too. A book on motivation, understanding more about motivation. So I'm always upskilling there. And it's usually non-fiction. First thing in the morning, I'm reading something non-fiction to start feeding my brain and getting some different pathways and thought processes happening. So I read and I journal. Now, journaling is something that has been a mainstay in my morning personal power time for a very long time. It comes and goes, a little bit like meditation. So I journal and meditate. And they're not mutually exclusive, but I generally do both. Right at the minute, as I'm filming this, I've been off my meditation. So that's something that I'll get back on. But my journaling consists of gratitude again, and it changes. It's pretty dynamic. It's pretty fluid. It's not the same questions every single day. A lot of the time I dive into my fears, my stresses, my overwhelms, what's happening, because I firmly believe you need to bring them into the light so you can move through them. If I'm dealing with something really specific, I'll write a little bit about that, a specific challenge, whether it's in my business, my relationships, how I feel about myself, my health, whatever it is, family dynamics, whatever it is. I'll journal a little bit about that. I've got some mantras that I write down. One is all I need is within me now. Another one is whatever happens that I can and will handle it. And the final one is just about love. As woo-woo as that may sound, I truly believe that we are all here to be loved and loved, and that we are all loved. And as men, if we can sort of identify with that and understand that, that's not all about go, that masculine energy. There's also that femininity about us, and we all have that running through our bodies that, you know what, there's something bigger here, something a little bit bigger at play. So I journal on questions, certain questions around my visions and goals. I definitely journal around gratitude, and I journal around some mantras that I'm really in tune to, some foundational mantras, but also some really specific ones. If I'm finding something that I'm getting stuck by in my days, I'll start reinforcing that through dialogue and through a mantra in my journal. And meditate. Like I said, meditate, usually I just do 5 to 10 minutes. Obviously, there's research out there to show you that meditation and absolutely helps with mental clarity. It helps with focus. It helps with understanding yourself, different insights, all that beautiful stuff. So I'm a big fan of meditation, 5 to 10 minutes. I also do that in the evening most times. Like I said, I've been a little bit slack on my meditation at the moment. So they're my rituals, and then I'm ready to go. What this does is a morning success ritual, if you're disciplined, when you're disciplined, I should say, to do it, and it becomes a non-negotiable, just like it does, dropping the kids at school, or brushing your teeth, or for some of us getting to the gym, or for others doing the date night, or having the quarterly meeting, whatever it is for you in your world right now, you've got some non-negotiables that are very important to you. I'd encourage you, I'd invite you, I'd suggest you make some personal power time for you as a man in the morning. It will change your world. You can cherry pick exactly what I've said. I'll run through it quickly now. So if you've got a pen and paper, or you're watching the replay or live here, grab a pen and paper. While you do that, I want to reach out to some people on here. Graham, nice to see you, mate. I'll answer that question in a second. Hey, Ian, thanks for jumping on. Great questions, Ian and Graham. Okay, let me take care of those now. Graham, it's difficult to find the time. Yes, it is. It's very difficult. One, I honour that. I understand it's difficult to find the time. Secondly, we make time for what's most important, do we not? What's most important in our lives, we will find the time. So it's not a matter of time, and I know you know this. It's not a matter of time, it's a matter of what's most important to us. Even if it's 5 minutes. Even if it's 5 minutes. And this goes into Ian's. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. This goes into Ian's question. Timmer, how long do you leave open for the whole routine? Great question. Usually if I'm on and I'm not fucking around and mucking around, this is done in 45 to 60 minutes. 45 to 60 minutes I dedicate to myself. Because it's important. I know if I do this, or when I do this personal power time, I show up as a better man. I can give more to my clients, to my programs, to my partner, to my family, to me, my health, everything. Because if you're not looking after yourself, how can you walk through this world as the best version of you? You fucking can't. So don't fool yourself. If you're not willing to devote 5-10 minutes to you in the morning, Tony says this. He has a 10-minute priming ritual and says if you don't have 10 minutes, you don't have a life. So that belief that we don't have the time or it will take too long, it doesn't serve us. I'm not saying it's not true, because it can be true. I get it. Wake up 5 minutes early and dedicate some of this. You can definitely have water first up. Jump in the cold shower if you're willing to take that challenge. Have some lemon water, half a lemon squeezed in some warm water. Happy days there. Do a little bit of a stretch. Do the priming, which is the rapid arm movement with some breathing and some gratitude and vision and goal work there. Do a page of reading, or write journaling, or meditate. There's plenty there. I think there's 8 different rituals that I go through. And here's another question. Do you do this every day? No. Do I intend to do it every day? Let's cut the bullshit and be honest here. I have intention to do this every single day. Do I do every one of these 8 every single day? No. Because I'm like you, Graham, I'm like you, Ian. I'm time poor too at times. I don't always have the time that I want to do 45 minutes to 60 minutes. I don't wake up early enough, or I lay in bed a little bit longer than I want to, but I do it. Or things just get compressed. But what I do is I at least, at a minimum, do 1, 2 or 3 of these every single day. That is an absolute non-negotiable. And then I'm building at doing all 7 or 8 and getting better at those. Because I believe that if you want more success, if you want more fulfillment, if you want more meaning and progress in your life, then we need great rituals. Because we all have rituals in the morning. One ritual that I hope you have is you brush your teeth. That's a ritual. You get up, you brush your teeth. All this is bringing some empowering rituals in to challenge you to bring more out of yourself. So I don't do every single one of them every morning. Majority of the time I do get through most of them because I really value this. And then I'm on with my day. Then I'm on with coaching. Then I'm on with jumping on the laptop, doing programming or getting back on to comments in social or email. And that's me about mid-morning. I get moving on that. So final couple of points on this. Why do I do these things? Because I believe that there's a mental component, an emotional component, and a physical component that we need to nurture every single day. Another question I obviously, hey Luke, thanks for jumping on, mate. Another question I get is exercise. When do you do exercise? Do you integrate exercise? Of course I integrate exercise. I'm a huge believer in training and moving your body in whatever way you like. Exercise at times comes into this ritual in the morning. At other times, based on my day, it's spread out. So today, it'll be just after lunch. I generally am a big fan of training earlier in the day. Once it gets to that mid-afternoon or later, I'm not a great fan of that. I think there's too many excuses that can come up. You've got the work engagement, you've got the social thing, you're tired, you just want to go and watch TV, you've got work you need to do, whatever it may be. So the earlier in the day, what I've found, you can get your exercise in. That's the way to go there. So today's, for me, lunchtime. Sometimes it's within this ritual. And if I'm feeling really flat, by the time I'll just get out. I'll just get out walking and I'll get to the gym because I'll know that will change my physiology, change my biochemistry, and then boom, I'll be feeling better to rock and roll on my morning personal power here. So the mental, emotional, and physical component I'm going to finish off on here because this is so key. A lot of rituals, morning rituals that I've found, don't touch all three. It might be exercise, great, that's a physical component. Priming, which is great, that's more of an emotional component. Because if we don't nurture our emotions will just take charge of us. And the other one, mental, say reading. Reading is a great mental component. So I've integrated all three into what I do and what I teach upon. And if you've done any coaching with me or been in any of my programs, you'll know that there are elements of this that I'll slide in there. But I'm also empathetic and I understand that everyone's in a different position. Time's one of those. Another is just a damn commitment. Some of us aren't willing to commit this time, and that's totally cool. You don't have to commit all this time like I've spoken about, but 5 to 10 minutes is a must. 5 to 10 minutes for your well-being, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Fuck, man, if you're not willing to give 5 minutes, 10 minutes to that, then you don't have a life. I know the quality of your life if you're not. It's stressed, it's pissed off, it's annoyed, it's frustrated more times than not. Not saying that you don't have those good days, but more times than not, that's how you're feeling if you're not willing to give yourself that personal power. So hopefully this is a bit of a push, a bit of a challenge, and also a bit of a support that, hey, I do this, the best of the best people do this. Think about the best sports stars in the world, the athletes, they've got their morning rituals. The guys that are rocking and rolling out there, they've got their morning rituals. The question is, will you A, upgrade yours, or B, create yours? And if you will, I honour you for that. A couple of shout outs here. Again, Ian, Luke, Graham. Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate your support here. Pass this message on. If you found this valuable, again, this was a Q&A about do I have a morning ritual or routine? Yes, I do. I've gone through it all. Hope you found value out of it. Much appreciation and gratitude for jumping on. Until we meet again, it's your time to step in your strength and to be the best man you can be.